Oh, the like the standing pilot. Okay, okay, gotcha. Can I test the mic? Because the other day.晚上你去那个团建跟王总一起去了，你不去吗？叫行，那行，那你来坐我车。对呀，那你坐我车，来坐我车。不小看，其实他那个蹭的还挺 lucky 的，还给他留了几盘。我同学在好多地方，我朋友在好多地方蹭的。所以那个 micro P 要按他的做吗？是我老公说的。他说啥咱就干啥呗。
Is this automatic? Oh, it works. Okay.
Do we have the TV sponsor available?
Yeah, they're there. We also have videos and shows that get built after, posted after 12.
I'm gonna let them know. Because now, this is not even heading up.
And then just chaos, yeah.
I love chaos. Now we're gonna meet. I'll be looking at right? Yes.
我本来每天除了白天没事，晚上还有事。
Yeah, class outside.
I know, man. 70 degrees this week, David. Actually, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I bet I should go kayaking tomorrow.
Where'd you kayak?
We go to Moraine State Park.
Oh yeah.
It's nice. I don't like to go in the river. There's too many boats. Like a lot of waves. People with these big boats. But up on Lake Moraine, Lake Arthur, whatever it is, Moraine State Park, it's really nice. They have boats up there, but the engines have to be really good.
And they have like a sailing boat.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna sail.
You don't swim.
No, I don't. My formative moment with sailing was when I was, I don't know, 6 or 7. We were at Disney World. And you know the tiny sailboats, like they're called sunfish? It's super tiny. My dad and I were on that. My dad was in the Navy. My dad was like, I was in the Navy. I know what I'm doing. We capsized. I don't remember. He managed to capsize the sunfish with this, like, 6-year-old son.
is on though.
And that's it is continually sucking more and more.
Yeah, I think it works. Yeah, I know.
All right, everybody. Okay, you got to do attendance too, right? Yeah. Who's doing attendance? Who's doing it? Is Laura?
So would it be possible to start with 1 and 13?
Yeah. What's that first? 113 and 113. Sure. Yeah. I think that's our 3:35.
I think so. I thought it was 3:30, but 3:35 is cool.
Look at the calendar.
What's a couple minutes, David?
I was taking attendance to be everything. I know.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, having watched like 20 students come in a single minute.
Team 3, where you at, Team 3? Oh, you already talking with me?
Let's do it. Let's do some quick attendance.
All right. Visual Story Team 1. Okay, 4 of you. Okay, sorry. Visual Story Team 2. Cool. Visual Story Team 3. Visual Story Team 4. 5. 6. Yeah, okay. 7. And then 13. Okay. That's everybody, right? Cool.
We're good. All right, so we're going to be watching the Group B finals. And I guess we're going to just get started. Get watching this.
Man, let's get
All right,
rolling
which team's
on
going
this.
first?
13.
Team 13, you're going first.
Come on, 13, the lucky number.
I think I'm going to Alright, we need the controllers. It's going to be hard for me to see them at the moment, but not. Alright. Let's do this.
Okay.
All right. Hello, Agent. Welcome to the Eco-Preservation Agency. The world around us is on the brink of ecological disaster. We know it's only your first day, but you've already been tasked with an important mission to travel back in time and change history. We have no time for a full debrief, so I'll be guiding you on your earpiece as you infiltrate the target zone. The subject of our mission is Mr. Vanderforge, a hotel tycoon who destroys people's homes and forests and replaces them with resorts for the rich. But we believe that he has the potential to transform into a powerful force for good. After careful analysis, we've pinpointed 3 key moments in his past that have the greatest potential to change his behavior. To do this, we've equipped you with special time orbs, gloves, that allow you to travel to these key moments and alter the past. Your drop zone is Vanderforge's office. And for your interactions to be effective, we have to use his own items to change his own past. All right, Agent. We've received word that Mr. Vanderforge has stepped out of his office, and so it's the perfect time for you to infiltrate. So we've teleported you there.
Right. Very interesting sense of decor.
Yep. Interesting sense of music.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah.
Alright. I'm here.
Yes. Are you
What do we do?
fixing that? All right. So, on the desk, you'll see the time orbs. You can try touching. You can try touching an orb with your gloves.
Yeah. Robert? Where are we on the new project? What's the timeline looking like? Look, I don't care how many houses we're displacing. I care about the $500 million involved. So you better get your shit together and get those papers for me to sign by the end of the day. Yeah. Consider this as last warning.
Our world's timeline is very delicate, so only one specific item can change it. We can't interact with him directly, or we'll break the timeline. So, first let's use the orb to return to his office to find something. Let's find an object that we can place in front of Mr. Vanderforge to help change his point of view.
Alright. Not give the beer. As long as you ignore it. Alright, got a file order.
Looks like you've got it. So now you can bring it with you back to the past.
Alright, go back in. Yes, here we go.
What's this? Housing project displaces 10,000 locals.
Well, task accomplished, Agent. You've successfully changed the first key moment and planted the seed of doubt. We must complete the other time orbs to ensure Vanderforge has a change of heart. So we can move on to the next orb. According to our reports, Mr. Vanderforge is waiting for an investor who he must convince to fund his project today, or else he'll miss the opportunity forever. We don't want him to strike this deal, so you must stop the investor from reaching Mr. Vanderforge. Yes, so our image amplification shows that there is a rat in the restaurant, so maybe you can take advantage of that. I'm sure the rat would have appreciated the beer as well.
Oh, hi. How are you? It's so long.
Hey, Sophie, long time.
Yeah, it's so long.
How are you?
Nice seeing you.
Same here.
Can I sit for a second?
Sure. I have someone coming in 10 minutes, but sure.
Did you hear about Joe? He's actually leaving the town. He lost his house and he lost his job, and it's like breaking my heart to see people who we've grown up with like this.
Just one moment, sorry. Yeah, sorry, what are you saying?
Yeah, it just breaks my heart seeing people leave the city, and the real estate prices are like, it's so exorbitant. I mean, how will ordinary people like us like be able to sustain here? It just like sinks my heart to see that.
Yeah, that's too bad for Joe. I mean, life's unfair, right? Can't really help it, I guess.
I feel so sad. I think you're busy right now. I don't want to like disturb you, but I'll see you some 5 minutes.
Sure.
Almost done, Agent. Only one key moment left to change. Remember to stay alert for useful information when you go in.
Yeah, Robert. I'm at the construction site. Yes. Yeah? Sounds good. Tear it down! Sophie's birthday. Oh my God. Hello? Hey, Sophie. What? She had a heart attack? Oh my God. Oh my God, Sophie. I heard you had a heart attack. What happened?
Past few days have been so hard, tough for me. Losing my job, losing my house, which is the only thing that I had in the city. Being displaced, homeless. This all added to my stress, and it all brought me here. The doctors told me not to take stress, but fear of being homeless. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to survive here.
Oh no, I'm sorry about that. I guess I didn't realize my actions were unintentionally bringing harm to people. I'm extremely ashamed. You know what? I'm gonna make this right for you. I'm gonna help you and others in the community. I'm gonna fix this.
Excellent work on your first mission. You've successfully altered the timeline. Mr. Vanderforge is now an influential philanthropist and a proponent for eco-friendly housing for all. Congratulations on saving the world. For now.
How do you feel, Dave? You were in there for a long time. You feel all right? Yeah.
A little frustration with the fingers, but that's more of an index problem than a team problem.
Yeah. Concept-wise, I love the idea. I love this idea of going back and forth in time using the globes to change, you know, an order of events. The concept is great. It is really good. But what were the challenges for you guys? What problems were you having with it in telling the story? Like, for example, the type on screen, the text on screen wasn't, something was up, something was wonky there. Yeah. Yeah. And go ahead.
Some interesting technical challenges. Things like that kind of cropped up near the end and definitely would be more fixable, but we had issues design-wise where after we had filmed, it took a decent bit of time to film everything, and even though we wanted to kind of pivot the direction of the gameplay and lean in more of a like puzzle-oriented direction, it was really kind of difficult to retrofit the existing ideas and the existing footage to facilitate that. Which led us in more of the directing the player and less anticipating the player to find the clues in the scene, because there's not really much to that.
Yeah, I mean, I applaud you for the including the video sections. You shot a lot of video, and it was great the way you went back and forth in time. I thought that was really pretty cool, and going into the field was pretty cool as well. So, yeah, but there wasn't, and Dave can speak for himself, I'm sure. But watching him play it, he didn't. I don't think and you know, he's a game player. He's a gamer. He didn't seem to know really what to do. The clues weren't obvious. And for Marie, you were telling him exactly what he needed to do. Did you understand, Dave?
I understood perfectly well. I mean, the truth is, I've done this one a few times, but I liked. I mean, part of it is it's a weird world, like the idea of time travel. I really like the interface. I mean, I think just touching the orbs is really cool.
Yeah.
And picking up the objects is really good. It's like the gameplay is actually really straightforward. Picking things up and going to the orbs. The interface tells a lot of stuff. It's the story that I think is just a little bit of a challenge. Like, it's a little weird that we bring a slice of cheese back for a rat. and that we sort of get a party hat. And so in some sense, having the guidance helped move that away from being weird and I don't know what to do with it, and moved into a place of like, oh, it's part of the story in some sense. There's sort of like the world is working with some weird ideas, which is like time travel changing this person's life. And so it felt kind of nice sort of being told what to do, because the whole world is new and weird and different. And so being a part of it felt what the experience was about, as opposed to being confident in all the tech. So I didn't feel like an experienced time traveler, but I did feel like someone who was helping someone else time travel and do this thing.
What I was confused about the story was Sophie's role. At the beginning, she comes on, right? And you were like, you didn't want anything to do with her. But what was your relationship to, what was the character's relationship to Sophie at the end that made you change your mind? Because I had no idea that was a similar relationship when she showed up earlier in the piece.
Yeah, so Sophie is she's a dear friend of Vanderforge's, which is why he even entertains her in the first place. As with regards to his other friends, which are shown in the photo, so he has grown apart from his other friends, but he's still very close to Sophie. And then when, in the second interaction in the hospital scene, when she's had a heart attack and everything, so that really impacts him to change his mind. Yeah. Yeah. So he wasn't really impacted when Joe, his other friend, was displaced or something like that. It was more of a journey, it was getting there. But when she had a heart attack, so it really impacted him.
All right. Yeah,
I think my reaction to the story is there's a bigger story here that's kind of hard to see all the details.
Yeah.
Because of the way, because of the sort of limited time and the way I'm interacting with it. So the backstory of their relationship, the scene where you show up and you just start talking is very sudden. So just experiencing it firsthand, there's sort of a question of which details of the story do you need to present to the guest when, so that each step connects and makes sense. And for the most part, I think you managed to connect the whole thing, which was what we're trying to do. I like the setup of we're trying to change sort of this climate thing. You sort of set up a really sort of high thing and gave me context for why we're doing this. It was just the story gets a little weird, and some of that weirdness I think is just there's backstory and details that we don't really get a chance to know. So it's just sort of a lot of lingering little why this, but overall the flow and the way you set up the world in terms of tech and how the tech interacted with the story, I think was all strong decisions. So it came down to just some of the details didn't quite connect the way I think you'd want them to connect if you iterated it.
Yeah, you guys reached high. You reached high for both the concept and the context. I mean, the story is big, and it is there's no backstory to it. You get an idea of what's going on, definitely. And also the concept of going through time with touching the orbs and finding clues that go back in time. That's actually really pretty cool. So you guys reached high for that. You guys set a high bar for yourselves, and it was a hard thing to do. And I think I think you succeeded in many ways.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Good job, guys.
Team 1.
Sure. You going in? Either one?
Either okay, it's fine. Yeah.
Can we do it? I can do it.
You want David to do it?
Either of you.
tough being in limbo for a long period of time.
With different choices, you can give her hope to come back to life. Alright, doctor, we're sending you off to her subconscious. She made a suicide attempt 2 weeks ago. Her vitals are stable now, but wouldn't wake up from coma. Anyways, we're counting on you to figure out what happened and try to bring her back. By rewinding her memory and showing her there could have been a different future with different choices, you can give her hope to come back to life. Best of luck.
It's happening, take these off, if I gotta get out of this headset. Oh, wait a minute, I got it back on.
So you're back in the testing area? Can you see?
I see something, yeah. It's all foggy, it's all like.
Alright, doctor, we're sending you off to her subconscious. She made a suicide attempt 2 weeks ago. Her vitals are stable now, but wouldn't wake up from coma. Anyways, we're counting on you to figure out what happened and try to bring her back. By rewinding her memory and showing her there could have been a different future with different choices, you can give her hope to come back to life. Best of luck.
For like the doctors, for getting your lenses.
Oh.
You don't know. You ready? You guys ready this time?
Yeah. We should be ready. Just let me know what you see when you comment, I said.
All right, this is the. I see Alex, I see Alumenti and, or Alex.
Yeah, that's all good.
Alex? Should I hit that?
Alright, doctor, we're sending you off to her subconscious. She made a suicide attempt 2 weeks ago. Her vitals are stable now, but wouldn't wake up from coma. Anyways, we're counting on you to figure out what happened and try to bring her back. By rewinding her memory and showing her there could have been a different future with different choices, you can give her hope to come back to life. Best of luck.
Yes. 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 Of course, yes. Hey Zoe, I know it's a lot to ask, but my chip is a bit burnt out. Do you think I could go LS this month? I didn't buy you for this. Don't worry, I'll set up a maintenance appointment for you later. Okay. Do you think I could go LS this month? Okay. Take some time for yourself then.
The perfect robot frees you from exhausting social lives. We offer a perfect clone AI robot of you that will act just like you. Afterwards, you can simply transport its memory to you, filtering every single negative emotion out. Subscribe and pay $99 a month. The perfect robot frees you from exhausting social lives. We offer a perfect clone AI robot of you that acts just like you. Afterwards, you can simply transport its memory to you, filtering every single negative. Now subscribe. The perfect robot frees you from exhausting social lives. We offer a perfect clone AI robot of you that will act just like you. Afterwards, you can simply transport its memory to you, filtering every single negative emotion out.
Hey, what's with the plant? It's your birthday, remember? It's April the 5th again? Jeez, time flies. Oh, don't forget to go to the party for me tonight. She doesn't care at all.
Alright,
All right. I really did not know what I was doing. Did you watch the video? Yeah.
doctor, we're sending you off to her subconscious. She made a suicide attempt 2 weeks ago. Her vitals are stable now, but wouldn't wake up from coma. Anyways, we're counting on you to figure out what happened and try to bring her back. By rewinding her memory and showing her there could have been a different future with different choices, you can give her hope to come back to life. Best of luck.
The perfect robot frees you from exhausting social lives. We offer a perfect clone AI robot of you that will act just like you. Afterwards, you can simply transport its memory to you, filtering every single negative emotion out. Now subscribe and pay only $19.99 a month. The perfect
Yes. 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 Of course, yes. Hey Zoe, I know it's a lot to ask, but my chip is a bit burnt out. Do you think I could go LS this month? I didn't buy you for this. Don't worry, I'll set up a maintenance appointment for you later. Okay. Do you think I could go LS this month? Oh, okay. Take some time for yourself then.
We offer a perfect clone AI robot of you that will act just like you. Afterwards, you can simply transport it.
Hey, what's with the plant? It's your birthday, remember? It's April the 5th again? Jeez, time flies. Oh, don't forget to go to the party for me tonight. She doesn't care at all. Hey, the flower is beautiful. Thank you.
The perfect robot frees you from exhausting social lives. We offer a perfect clone AI robot of you that will act just like you. Afterwards, you can simply transport its memory to you, filtering every single negative emotion out. Now subscribe and pay only $19.99 a month. The perfect robot frees you from exhausting social lives. We offer a perfect
Good evening, Zoe. Do you want to filter all the negative experiences for this transfer? Negative experiences filtered. Transfer initiated. Thank you for choosing Perfect Robot. May you live happily ever after.
That's it? Why is it so short? That's all I have today. It can't be. What did you do? You filtered all the rest of the... No. You're keeping the good stuff from me, aren't you? Give it to me. Give it back to me. That's really all I have, Zoe. Give it to me. Give it back to me, you piece of shit. Really? You want all of it now? Alright, I'll let you have it.
Good evening, Zoe. Do you want to filter all the negative experiences for this transfer? All data kept. Transfer initiated. Thank you for choosing Perfect Robot. May you live happily ever after.
Thank you. You know what Zoe means? It means life. I never quite understood why my parents made me them. Life. Is it even good or bad? But now, I think I'm starting to get it.
First, the visuals of this world are really great. I mean, you guys made a style and brought a world to life. I love just the animation, especially those two moments of like filtering the emotions, and like just the way you're using the space and all that to like represent kind of like the idea of what's happening. I like the ads in the background. It's like a nice way to sort of like layer in what this world is about, because the world is fascinating. Like you have this challenge, which is how do you get the guest to understand that the idea of this world involves robots that can act as you in like situations and stuff like that, and that the understanding of that is kind of critical to your story, but you don't tell us directly. You sort of tell us in little pieces, and I think some of that stuff is just really well done. I will say the story is like one of the things I'm sort of like trying to figure out is exactly what happens in the story, and one of the things that like the strongest stuff is at the end where we sort of have this idea of filtering, and it feels like the moments we had before that, I don't understand how they connect to that ending, and particularly what the guest does. I think that was the thing I'm sort of like trying to figure out is those moments where the guest is effectively, one, does the guest have control over rewinding, or is that something that happens automatically? Yeah, and so it's in some ways I guess the thing I'm trying to figure out is like the role for the guest here. Like what do you do when you interact in this world, and how do you understand how that connects to the story, and how does that move the story forward is the thing that I'm a little fuzzy on at the moment.
Well, it seems to me, watching it here, because I wasn't sure when I was inside of it all, experiencing it, but I agree with everything about the look of it. It is quite beautiful and quite almost sort of, in a way, kind of futuristic, obviously, and it was pretty cool. But it seemed to me, after watching the video, that it seemed I needed, the audio the audio was cueing me to do things. Was that correct? Because I couldn't quite hear the audio. It wasn't in my headset. It was outside on these speakers, and it seemed a little jumbled, and I couldn't quite hear everything. But if I would have, listening to it here, it seems like I would have used the audio as a cue to do what I needed to do. And I wasn't hearing that, and I was a little confused by that. And I kept going to the whatever the objects were, and I thought I was touching it no or yes, whatever, and it didn't seem like anything was working. So I wasn't quite sure what I was activating when I hit anything. I was a little confused by that. Not a little, actually, a lot confused by that. The story was large, it's big, and it's sort of it's also a little complicated, I thought, too, and I wasn't quite sure. Again, when the characters inside the world were talking to each other, again, it was hard for me to hear what they were saying clearly. It seemed jumbled. The audio seemed jumbled to me. Yeah, so I was lost there. And then also when it went black, should I have experienced all those other things if it hadn't gone black for me in the screen at the end? At the end of the piece, like when I picked up the cage, whatever that was, that's when everything went black.
That was a tech problem, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the headset.
So,
yeah.
Oh yeah, is that what it was? So I should have seen all that other stuff after I picked up the cage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
The first interaction is about the party invitations. In that moment, what is the guest doing? They are changing the answer, the response. Why do they change the response? I was a little confused by why the guest is making that change.
Because the robot is kind of stressed out and she doesn't want to go there. So.
But I guess how does that connect to the fact that this character is in a coma? And how does the guest know that? It feels like the story is, if I were to iterate this, it feels like the story is a little backwards. You tell it linearly, but the guest doesn't know at that moment in the choice that this problem with the robot is what's causing the problem. And I guess one of the things I was a little confused about is it felt like what this world is trying to do is I'm discovering why she's in a coma, why she had the suicide attempt by seeing this stuff. And then there's this final choice you need to help reverse. But we can reverse these earlier choices. And it was unclear to me what reversing those choices, what that action meant in the story. And it did a good job of telling me the interface that we can do that. But in that moment, I don't know if the guest has the context to know, oh, we shouldn't have done that because it caused this thing later. If I know the whole story and know that we have this sort of conflict with the robot, then I know we should change those things too. But since it's the first thing we do, we don't have that context. And so it was looking through the lens of the guest, it felt like those early choices were missing context that would be, and because of that, I wasn't sure what the guest should be thinking about in that moment. It was sort of it made those moments more confusing because I know when we get to the end, the context becomes clear, but in the flow of it, it was a little unclear.
And have you played this before?
I'm aware of the story, and I played some of it, yeah.
Yeah, I was aware of the story too, and that's why I was trying to figure it out when I was in it. I had a sense of what the story was, but I was also aware of what my role was in, but I wasn't unsure in the context I was in of how to engage with that, or it could be, or activated, moving it forward. I didn't know how to do that. Or I wasn't sure what I was doing was causing what.
But man, especially the ending and how this, you sort of presented that stuff, it was really, you could sort of hear it with the audience. It was a powerful visual and a powerful way to bring us together. And I think part of it is you're going for an idea which is pretty big and strong. This idea of sort of unloading the challenges of your life onto this robot and that causing this overload and then absorbing that overload in a moment and that causing this reciprocating problem. And I think it's to the credit, how much just you presented that visually and it communicated a relatively complex thing with those visuals in an impressive way.
So when the robot shoots whatever she shoots out to the other character, what is that? What is she doing when she throws her up against the wall and all these vines come up? What is happening there?
It's all about the negative memories before that Zoe, the major character, is trying to filtering out, but it's all instantly, every negative memory is just flush into her body. So that's why. And we take that vine as a metaphor, maybe to visualize the bad memories.
Anyway, really cool work. Good job, guys.
Which one is your final version?
Excuse me. He wants the lights off.
Say, go close the door. She's not. The door actually does a lot for darkening the screen.
Ready?
Ready? Yeah. Be on.
Yeah, so a really beautiful world. Just like the shifting from the beginning, which is sort of like we're kind of at the top of the space. We get captured by this storm, kind of at the bottom. Just like the different spaces look different. There's like the art direction is really lovely. The effects are really lovely. And I mean, I think the biggest obstacle I ran into is just kind of like the control and the guidance. Like the world didn't give me quite enough guidance on, you should go here, this is what a path looks like, this is what an obstacle looks like. And that would be just sort of like iteration on level design. I definitely got this sense, like the inciting event of like that storm like works as a big moment of something that needs to happen. And so you drop me at this bottom and I get a sense I need to like move forward. I don't quite have a good sense of the other orbs. I think I was kind of a little bit, there's so many like effects going on and like things moving that I'm not picking up a lot of like, I'm struggling to attach meaning to like, these are other photons or stuff like that. So I mostly have a sense that I am traveling through a space and moving forward, and I get a sense of progress, but I'm not quite sure like if there were other photons involved in what they were doing. There were like some yellow things with the flowers, and I wasn't too sure exactly what that was. It looked like big globs of pollen. So I was like mostly like, since the world's very up for interpretation, like I'm trying to like piece things together. I mostly got that I'm moving through, I'm making progress on a journey, and that I succeeded in my journey. And so for me, the story ended up being really simple, which was got swept away by this storm, and I made my way back up to the top. But I was able to like, feel that journey. I think actually the controls when they're working like was actually a really nice way to connect me to the character and sort of have me feel like I'm moving through space. I was feeling every bumping into a rock and not being able to like make my way through that second part. And it was, in some sense that's good. Like I felt some of the frustration that my character was probably feeling as I was trying to get through there.
On a visual level, it's a rich, really visually rich game world. The colors were really vibrant. When you were going through the roots inside underneath in the tunnel, and I also like the 3 stages. I thought that was really done really well. The outside stage going into the tunnels and then going through the flower sort of thing, and then up into transcending, into the heavens. The colors were really good. Oh, when you were in the tunnels, did you understand that the white trails were supposed to be leading you?
I was following looked like the wind.
Yeah, the white trails were the wind.
I was using that.
Yeah. That was a great cue, right? Even it was a great cue to know where to go. But it seemed like you were having difficulty also on the platform here with the foot.
It was I was actually able to use the input device. The moments that were most frustrating was when the camera would switch.
Yeah.
Like it would just completely throw me.
Yeah.
And I lost a sense of both where I was trying to go, and then like the controls would shift based on that. So it was very disorienting to have the camera shift. And then in the second space, the level design didn't give me good cues about what a path was. And so because the path was like the dark rocks, I didn't at first know that. So all the stuff that looked bright felt like safe, and dark felt dangerous. And then there were like these vines with spikes across them that I could go through. And so the visual language of the level, I think, would need clarifying. Like if you were to iterate that from a level design perspective, and the goal wasn't clear either. I knew I was trying to find a way through, but I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah, when you were in the third stage, you said you didn't know where to go? Because I was confused too as where it was happening.
I think I ended up circling the whole space and didn't know I did that. And then I was like, and I realized it, and I was like, well, I guess I don't know. I assumed a destination would be clear once I got there. And so it's a little bit just the language of what is my destination?
Like in the tunnels there, the cues were the wind, right? Yes. What was the cues for him in the third level?
So in the casting, the first shot was shooting from your final destination actually. So you are looking at the tree, and that's where you need to go. So at the end.
And also the placement of the flowers is also the path. So it's actually along way you go. And at the final destination, we meant to like make more flowers becoming there, so there's a adding up level of danger, and it will like lead you because it's circling around you, so you should like go that way, which doesn't have a flower.
So what you're saying was the colors of the flowers, were they supposed to be leading David?
The placement of the flower.
The placement was leading. So you should have followed that path of flowers.
Yes.
Got it.
Anyway, it was a lovely world, and I got there. It was just, I think just a little bit of like the interface like stuff would have helped smooth it out, but it felt like a little journey of like going through this, and like the ending, all this stuff like was nice and strong.
Yeah, the camera shifting was, when I played it on Wednesday, I was disoriented too when the camera shifted on me.
Cool. Anyway, really good work, guys.
Cool. Nice world.
COVID. Oh, jeez. Yep, 2 of them are down.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Come, fellow spirit of nature, follow the white raven, and together we will shepherd the whale to her final destination, into the beam of light, united with her kind. Injured and fragile she is, nature is counting on her. Please raise her and help her fly. Now gently move it upwards with the help of the white ravens. I wonder if they will ever stop. They have taken so much. This place used to be a forest. Now it's all barren. when a well has reached the realm of peace, let the restoration of nature begin.
All right, so we're going to go out and play this later, right? All right, cool. Beautiful, looks great. Good use of leading lines, visual story. You got some marks for visual story component. The art was cool too, and visually rich, and I love the music. The music was cool. I can't wait to play it.
I agree. Like the space you made, the world you created is really cool. I definitely felt like just a collision between the music and the voiceover. It made it hard to hear the voiceover, and so it was almost like the world was telling me not to listen to the voiceover because like the audio was sort of like being played in tandem with the other stuff. Because of that, I think I didn't quite get all the stuff that's being said. I definitely got that we're sort of like, I think, helping guide the whale. I didn't quite get a good sense of like what that help was. In particular, like the ending was really evocative, like the whale sort of dissolving into like the flock. I guess they're the white ravens. But then it was like now the restoration of nature can begin. I was sort of like, how's that going to happen? And so it was like the ending sort of like alluded to this big idea, but I wasn't quite sure what we did, how that connected to that. And so it felt like there was sort of like a bigger story being told that I wasn't quite a part of. And I don't know if it was because like I was struggling to hear the voiceover, or if it was like just the interaction I had wasn't quite giving me insight into that role.
Does the voiceover explain that? Yeah.
How does the restoration of nature begin then? What does that mean? How do I know that from playing the world? Okay. I mean, it's something you've got a knowledge of your story that's there. The connection to the guest, like I did not get any of that whatsoever. And I think that's sort of what I felt was like there was this bigger story happening that it was hard for me to understand through this. Like I got the moment to moment story of we're moving through this, but it felt like there was a bigger idea that I was like trying to know what you were saying with that. I could sort of feel it a little bit, but it sort of lacked some clarity there. Anyway, cool. Good work.
Good. Yeah, really nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, at long last, Lady Evelyn Connors is due to marry Lord Randolph Spires. After this occasion has been a source of much excitement and anticipation. We can think of no better match for Lord Spires.
Need to clean this mess before the Lord comes back.
Look, it's the Lord and the Lady. Can't believe the Lord actually decided to marry Lady Evelyn.
I'm afraid she's not as perfect as she appears to be. I heard bad rumors about her.
I heard they only met a month ago. What made the Lord rush into marriage?
It is probably an arranged marriage. It's the family's decision.
I hate her. It should be me there. It will be me.
She deserved it. If I can have him, no one shall.
It's mine now.
I see this is the descent into madness.
I think we should show the video. This is like a person on a stick.
I already took the video out.
Yeah.
Glitched out.
Did I ruin it by stabbing the dead person again? Is that it? Holy heck, that was funny. What?
You're good at cleaning up the blood.
I know.
Like something we've done before.
Not really. Okay. Well, the good thing, I didn't have to figure out what to do, at least for the most part. Was I supposed to stab the person?
Yeah.
But then why did she stick on my mouth?
I don't know.
Because we have a blood scattering.
So so it would have, if it would worked right, I would have just stabbed it and did it.
Yeah, you put out.
Yeah, it's gonna show on the video.
Oh, I got it. Okay. That was funny though, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that person.
No, long before. It's back.
Can we show from the beginning?
We'll go.
She deserved it. If I can have him, no one shall.
It's mine now, as he shall be. Look at me.
Darling, are you in there?
What have I done?
A truly tragic and unexpected turn of events, Lord Spires has found Lady Evelyn dead. Housemaid Lily Marsh was found with a murder weapon, wearing the wedding dress to conceal the crime. She has since been detained and will await trial. After such a disturbing state of affairs, we must first thank the sponsors who make this program possible. Anton Renouf, artist. Ray Amada, artist. James Sung, programmer. Wen Long-yan, programmer. And Jason Lian, sound designer. For now, thank you for listening, and make sure to tune in the same time.
All right. I knew what to do. Yeah, I knew what to do. Even at the first one, you had that. You just threw that rag right in front of me to start wiping. So I knew to do that, and so that was easy. It was easy to figure out. I didn't have to try to figure out what I was doing, what I needed to pick up. But the mop was right there, and I remember Michael using the mop before, so I remembered that. Again, it was so. If I would have, if it wouldn't have gone wonky on me and stopped working, what was my next? I would have got the dress, right? And I would have walked down the aisle, right? And then that would have changed. Obviously, it would have been back in the bedroom with the Lord, whatever his name is, coming in and saying, finding the dead body. I love the idea of the old radio, and apparently your voice, right? English, voice accent there. That was cool. That was really cool. That puts it in the whole time period. It just sets it in that time period. I like the colors. I like the way it looked. The art, everything in that room was really cool. And then what happens though when it looked like the person was, when you were stabbing the body, it was like kind of just falling apart? Was that blood bubbling out of it? Oh, but it wasn't the color of blood though. It looked brown. Yeah, well, okay, all right. But isn't there supposed to be, you're not supposed to kill anybody in BBW Worlds? Is that it?
Oh, no, you can kill people.
You can kill people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can kill anyone you want.
I always do in Visual Story, no killing and no stalking.
We have no shooting violence and no pornography.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
stabbing violence, totally fine.
Stab.
No, I think, actually, it came together surprisingly well. Like, not to say it wasn't coming well, but like it worked. I think some of the stuff is interaction design is fantastic. Like really simple interaction, clean. And I think this showcase is a good example where the interaction isn't a lot about giving the guest a lot of choice, giving them an interaction that is like a really skilled thing. It's just do this little thing and it puts you into the character.
Absolutely.
And the best moment in this whole thing was that cut from the wedding march to the knocking at the door and that cut back to the different reality.
Yeah.
And I could feel it. And this whole world, like that contrast works so well.
Yeah.
And part of what I think works well is this is in VR and the guest is the character now. And you had the guest do these things, you had the guest, and then that voiceover, like, what have I done? Like, you've got these nice little choices where you're working on getting the guest into character, a hard character to get into. Like, you have to be, I guess, a servant of the Lord and lady, and like, and you murder the lady, and like, but I think the interactions are simple, they're clear, and they connect. You don't linger on them too long. It's not like you spend forever cleaning stuff, and so you've got good pacing. The interactions are nice and simple, but really do enhance the role for the guest. The guest moves the story forward through that, and then those moments work. Is the dress interactive? Do you have to reach out and touch it? Okay.
So you reach out and touch it, what happens?
So you look down.
Yeah. And I think it's a good thing to remember in VR, looking around is an interaction. So that final scene where, the voiceover is, what have I done? The moment interaction is like looking around. Like, looking over there, like where the knocking's coming from, looking down at the body, and just looking can be powerful. And I think that worked well. So a lot of really good, strong things here. And I think the story comes through. You've got a full beginning, middle, and end. So yeah, good work.
David, you're absolutely right. When the interactions are relatively easy, it's not even easy, but clear. It makes the world much more engaging, and you're not struggling. You don't get frustrated. You don't get confused, and that works for you right away. Quite a bit. I mean, it takes it such a long way, and I would have loved to go through all the way to the end. I'm sorry it kind of conked out on you, but can we play this another time sometime next week?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. If I come to see you, come and see who should I come and see? Because I'd love to do it again. I'd love to go through it all the way to the end. I really want to experience that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. Okay.
Thank you.
Nice. So no murder. No murder. What? We didn't know shooting. No right. I stopped it for a while there. Just never was way back. I can't stop. Guys stalking women.
You guys? Yeah. All right. Jumping in. Like this round is experiencing a decent amount of violence. I don't think this world is too much of an exception. If I know the world.
This is the house. This is the
Yeah.
You wanna secure the
Yes. Am I using controllers? Right?
Alright, so now it's on chain.
Mom, can I buy the twin dolls?
More dolls? You never take care of them.
Please?
Fine. But you better take care of them.
We have to get out of here! I just want you to know, I would do anything for you. I'm so scared.
I can see. It's like there's a little bit of a frame rate jump, but we can work with it.
Operation board, open the door.
What? I can't hear you.
It hurts! It hurts!
Thank you. How can I help you?
Let us out of here!
Oh, sure. Sure thing.
We have to get out of here! The girl must have put the key in the boiling pot. with me? Who wants to play with me? Please play with me.
All right. Do you guys want to play the video?
Do we need to?
Yeah, I think I got it. I guess I guess the ending felt like it glitched a little bit. What was supposed to happen?
It's supposed to be that if you wait too long, if you don't go forward, the other doll will volunteer to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That happens every time. We
Gotcha.
don't know why.
So I definitely like you got a nice creepy world. The voiceover at the beginning sets up that there's a little girl who wants dolls. The mother's like, I don't want to buy them for you. You always don't take care of them. And then she just immediately, gives in. But the little girl has like a creepy laugh. And then we get into the scene, like you've got this like nice creepy feel to this whole thing. Was there supposed to be more of a presence of the hand in the world? Okay. I saw like a glimpse of that. I wasn't too sure. But that was like definitely one thing I was hoping for was like the windows would see a sense of the outside, but they're blacked out. Man, like the sequence of stuff, like the reaction of the little doll to ripping off the pieces was very visceral. And it worked really well, especially, the framing at the end of the little doll standing there next to like this puzzle and there's buttons and she's like, the doll's got these eyes. And like, it's a nice moment of sort of like just anticipation and sort of like understanding the story and knowing what sort of has to happen. And I think it's a credit to the world, how we got there. Definitely, I knew what to do. And I think the first moment of like taking the ear is probably a bit of a leap. Because your world is weird in the sense that these doors have to be opened with a trick. And like the key makes a lot of sense, get that. But man, that first one with the ear is like, it's a weird stretch for the fiction. And so I'm skeptical, like from a guest perspective, like that's the way to go. Like in some sense, what I would expect more is like a key introduces things. We learn about locks and stuff like that. But overall, the experience of having to take parts from from my friend and the animation and the sound effects, all that stuff worked really well and made the ending feel like creepy and visceral. And then I like the hand and like the ass of the girl, like I did not want to go. Like you did a good job of sort of setting up that it was kind of inescapable, but also like I dreaded it. And like the creepiness of like the head in the fridge and the arms under the cloches and stuff like that. Like just nice atmosphere, nice interaction where I did stuff that really felt like I was in the space and doing stuff that I didn't quite want to do. And so overall, like it worked for me.
Yeah, I agree. But I was still a little confused I thought at the beginning, did David miss it or did I miss it? Wasn't there a hand supposed to come through the window at the beginning, but did that happen?
Yeah, I think it was partly the frame rate issues at the beginning, and it happens only very quickly in the beginning.
So he missed it? We missed it because he wasn't looking in the right direction?
Sort of both, yeah.
Sort of both. But there is a hand there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then at the end, where we did see the hand, when the door opens and there's a big hand there, what was that? Was that the ending? Was he grabbing the character? Was he about to grab the character?
She said, come and play with me.
Come and play with me. And then what happened? Then it went wonky. So when Dave took the eye off of the little puppet and you know, and then put it on the door. That's what opened the door. That was the clue, key to open the door. And she says, "Come play with me." So what would have happened next if it hadn't gone like?
Either you would have stepped forward and it sacrificed yourself and made it to black, and it would have like grabbed around you, or the other doll you just do it.
Okay, cool. So you made some nice choices and iterations from when I saw it last time, with the character, the man on the door was really up high. So you made much better choices. You made you look much better. I think you could understand right away what he needed to do, what one needed to do to put the ear on the door. And he said, "Oh, thank you. Now I can hear you." And that was cool. So I didn't understand though. There's one point, David, that when you got through the first door, the little puppet says is in distress. And why was it in distress that time? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember that part.
It was before you pulled the eye off it.
Oh, yeah. It definitely. I recall there's like a moment.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened there.
I think it was like the doll like is scared or something like that. Is that right?
Was the hand come in again?
No.
The doll does just like periodically say it's
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Really good work.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Team 6. Come on.
This is the last team, right?
Yeah, nice team, man. You want me to sit there? Yeah.
It's like this area.
That's pretty big.
About this.
I have nothing over here. It's about right there. Over there.
Yeah. If it's not fixing, you can set the position. Hold on.
Watch out. We good.
It's supposed to.
No, I think I've got it. The boundary goes all the way to Dave's table.
We're good.
And it's to the wall, so I'm fine. I got a lot of space in front of me.
What's the name of your group?
Team 6, right? Yeah.
There you go. Cool. Nice. Thank you. Empire Panda.
Hello, Blake? I know you just finished the case, but the metahuman criminal in the New York case still refuses to talk. We need your memory recall ability. We already have some objects for you to work with. Also, we just received a new weird case in our city from the Central Police Office. It's a metahuman criminal focused on little girls, and the suspect likes dressing up in black. Reach out to me as soon as possible once you have the time.
Hello, Ava's parents. This is Ava's teacher, Mr. Anderson. Ava didn't come to school this morning. Since there have been many child kidnapping cases around the city, I want to call you to see if Ava's okay.
What? How could that happen? I will call you back later. Eva left home this morning, but she's not at school, and she's not with her mother either. What if that kidnapper got Eva? I'd better use my ability to find her.
Hello? Blake? I know you just finished the case, but the metahuman criminal in the New York case still refuses to talk. We need your memory recall ability. We already have some objects for you to work with. Also, we just received a new weird case in our city from the Central Police Office. It's a metahuman criminal focused on little girls, and the suspect likes dressing up in black. Reach out to me as soon as possible once you have the time.
Hello, Ava's parents. This is Ava's teacher, Mr. Anderson. Ava didn't come to school this morning. Since there have been many child kidnapping cases around the city, I want to call you to see if Ava's okay.
What? How could that happen? I will call you back later. Eva left home this morning, but she's not at school, and she's not with her mother either. What if that kidnapper got Eva? I'd better use my ability to find her.
Draw with me, Kate. I hope I get to draw with my parents next time.
That's good. Do you guys do drawing first?
Yes, I do the drawing first. So just gonna keep going. Just skip to the end of this.
Right there.
Because of the war. What else could it be?
I have a job too, okay? Do you even remember when it's the last time we talked?
I was outside
You don't understand me anymore.
Jesus Christ.
I am now your priority. Ava's now your priority. Who do you think you are?
Why are we
deserve
fighting
to be
over this?
treated
I don't
better than this,
understand.
Blake. This is all your fault. You know what? I am so down with you. I don't need this anymore.
Enough! You're unbelievable.
Get out. Just get out. I don't want to hear a single word coming out of your mouth.
Hey, Abe, where's your parents?
parking lot.
Okay, here's your bag. Take care.
Thanks, Mr. Anderson. Bye. They didn't come again. They promised me.
Black clothes. Is that the guy?
Look what I made today.
Sorry, not now, honey. It's not enough information. Have to keep looking. Figure out where to check next. Where did I put my car keys?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for coming.
I'm back. I had a great day with Kate at her school festival.
Hey, Kate. How could you take Eva out without my permission?
I got your permission, Blake. You even wrote it on the note. Look, it's on the calendar.
Hey Blake, good news. The child kidnapper in our city was caught. No need to worry.
Okay, jeez, I almost screwed up. You know what? I'm not the only hero to this society, but I'm the only superhero to Eva.
Okay, so why did it keep going back to the phone? Do you know why? Just a little bug there? Is it because you added that other picture in the other interactive point? Because it was working so well the other day.
No, it was working when we were trying it last night. It's just a new bug. I don't know what happened.
Whatever, but it looked great. I love being in that world. It was really fun, and you added some elements since the last time I saw it too, which is really really nice. And then the walk in. You know, when the door opens up, you walk in, and then I could have walked to the board to see the note on the board. So yeah, it's a great world actually. I think it's really pretty cool. It looks good. It felt good to be in it. I felt like I was maneuvering around in it really well and nicely. Yeah, it just seemed to work really well.
Yeah, and I think the good choice of role for the guest, like you have a power, which when you pick objects up, you see things about them. You went a lot more with kind of suggesting the story and giving the guest a lot more of a direction to think. And I think that helps connect with the character because you sort of have this dual challenge, which is tell the story, but also get the guest to believe something that turns out to be wrong, because the character you are kind of has a minor twist reveal, which is what they thought was happening wasn't happening. And so getting the guest there is really tricky, and I think the details you added really help. You also have a lot of story. I think some of it's kind of weird, and there's some little pieces, like the reveal at the end with Ava coming in is a little hard to tell because we don't know what she looks like. And so when they show up, it's sort of like, who are they? And they have to introduce themselves. And it's some of the natural world building of the guest isn't the character, doesn't know the things the character knows. And so getting those moments to land strongly is kind of tricky. And I think you did a lot of good stuff to bring an internal voiceover and other things to connect that. There's little things like, why do we have her backpack? Why do we have the plushie in our office? So little story questions, since your story is so big and it's sort of compact in this space. But clever storytelling, I think ambitious, trying to do this twist idea. And I really love the the balance between the videos, how you use those,
Yeah.
and the virtual space. So,
Yeah, I did
like our
too.
stuff.
I did too. And it was clear to me, even if I wouldn't have played it before, I thought it was clear to me of what I needed to interact with and engage with. Picking up the picture, picking up the plushie, picking up the backpack, whatever that may be. It was clear to me what it would how to interact in that world. Cool.
Anyway, good work.
All right. Nice job, guys. Nice job.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Rob.
All right, I guess all of them.
I think so. We got to go upstairs to the
All right.
Five Guys.
That's story. Congratulations, everyone. We're
That's a
a little
wrap.
over time, but really great work. And honestly, enjoy the weekend. The weather should be nice.
Beautiful weather.
There's no more world to build. We'll be talking next week about new stuff, but this weekend is yours.
Yeah. And also for Visual Story, hold on, Steven, hold on, guys. I'm not done. Don't rush out of here, Steve. I know you're in a hurry. But for Visual Story, I sent you the latest assignment. And so look it over. If you have any questions, text John or I. We'll be happy to answer them. It's going to be a fun assignment. This is sort of what you guys, this is going to be, just going to really exercise your creative juices here. Your Visual Story juices, all right?
And it should be warm tomorrow. Go outside.
Yeah.
Do something that's not related to a computer. Enjoy a bit of a break.
Absolutely.
Have fun. Good work, everyone.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Bye, guys.